Is water wet? Is a question that has pondered scientists since the medieval ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here with Tony, and we're going to be talking about that question, cause, say hi, Tony.
Say hi. Hi.
Alright.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Tony.
So, I feel like Tony is a bit certified to talk about this, especially since he has straight A's. So,
Of course.
yes.
Yes.
Before we get started, though, I need to mention this. I did ask my science teacher, which is an adult who went through college and majored in science, so she should be more certified to talk about this than anyone else, and she said that water is wet. Now, just throwing that out there. Yeah. All right.
That's kind of wrong.
So, Tony, what's your stand on this?
Water is not wet.
Why?
Because the definition of wet is like when something is soaked with water. And how can water be soaked with water?
Alright, well,
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that. The definition of wet is to be covered or saturated with water or another liquid.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's say I have an H2O molecule, and that's water, right?
Yeah.
And it's surrounded by other H2O molecules. So it's covered or saturated, like the molecules are covering and saturating each other. So, therefore, they're wet. But
I don't know, man.
But let's talk about other points that have been given by people that say, oh, water isn't wet. Now, on this website, debate.org, it also ponders the question, is water wet? Now, it's pretty 50-50 whenever it comes to it by everyone. However, I just gotta throw this out there. 51% of people said yes, 49% no. Well, that's just besides the point, though. You know.
Yeah.
Alright, so, one point, and this is the best point the other side has to offer, it seems. It says, now listen up. If you say water is wet, say you pour water on water. Would you say the water is wet? No. But if you pour water on paper, then the paper is wet. Alright, so it has some logic, right?
Yeah.
Alright, what do you think about that?
That's pretty good, man.
That's good logic?
Yeah, that's good logic.
Alright, so I have an explanation. So it doesn't exactly make it wet, because it was already wet to start with. Let's say I had a paper towel, and that's dry, and I have another paper towel that's dry. If I put the paper towel on top of the other, does that make it dry? Well, not exactly, right? They were dry to begin with.
Yeah, they're already dry.
So the water was already wet to begin with. It's just, now it's two wet things. Or just conjoined.
But how is water wet, though? That's the question.
How is? Well,
Yeah.
it follows the scientific definition. It's covered or saturated with water.
But how is water soaked in water?
The molecules. Hold up, I'm gonna...
There is dry water, everyone.
Oh, what is dry water?
An unusual form of powdered liquid. Yeah?
Yeah, powdered
It's a
liquid...
water-air emission. Yeah.
That's entirely different, though. That's like, that's going from liquid to solid. You know?
So what if you apply water to it?
What?
What if you put water in dry water?
Then it's like a solid. It's like, say you have lava, right?
So is it wet? How is it wet?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Say you have lava, and you cover something with it. Alright,
Yeah.
so it... Hold on. Wait, what was your point?
So what happens if you put water inside like dry water? Well, what happens? Is it wet?
I'm gonna look this up. Dry water. Dry water. Okay, so you're saying if you put water in dry water,
Yeah.
would that be wet?
Yeah.
Does the dry water, can that turn into regular water?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just go on Wikipedia, man.
Alright, so if the dry water could turn into regular water, well, yeah, it would be wet. If it's surrounded by other water molecules. If this dry water is just, if it's compact water molecules, like,
Is
it
it
can't be wet.
tiny water droplets?
How?
I don't know.
Hold on. Well, let's see. Dry water. It's a form of powdered liquid, water emulsion, in which tiny water droplets, each the size of a grain of sand, are surrounded by a sandy silica coating. Alright, dry water actually consists of 95% liquid water. So therefore, I'd say dry water is wet. If it's surrounded by liquid water...
Alright, wait. And water.
To be surrounded by liquid is to be wet. And if dry water is surrounded by liquid water, then it's wet, right?
I don't know.
That going off scientific definitions.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be wet. Well, dry water is technically wet. It's like one of those things that say one thing but actually mean another. There's a lot of those, I just can't think of it. Alright, so another point that someone has said to me is that, does fire burn fire? No. So water does not wet water. Alright, here's my response to that. So, the definition of wet and the definition of burn are two completely different things. So wet is to be covered or saturated with water or another liquid, while burn is of a fire, flame, or glow while consuming a material such as coal or wood, or of a person, the skin, or a part of the body become red and painful through exposure to the sun. So burn is really, it's subjective, while wet isn't. It's scientific and it's, but burn is subjective. It can only be on certain materials. So no, you can't burn fire, but water can wet water. Because they're not the same thing.
Yeah?
So, yeah, you got any other things to say, Tony?
No.
Because I'm about done with points.
Well, water is a chemical compound.
Okay, but it's a liquid.
It is a liquid.
Yeah?
But is it wet?
Yes. If you were to have just one water molecule, then no, it wouldn't be wet, it'd be dry. However, since it's surrounded by other water molecules, then it is wet. And they wet each other.
Alright.
And also, another thing I'd like to add is that consistency is really important. So, if I were right now, I'd say I'm dry. What about you, Tony?
I'm kind of dry.
So, is air dry? Is air dry?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Well, what's your thought process on that?
I don't know. You dragged me to this, man.
Come on, dude. You got A plus. You gotta have some sort of standpoint.
Well, let me search it up.
I can only really just like find a definition of air dry. I can't find like
Yeah.
is air dry. Oh, yes. So yeah, consistency for the
Alright.
win. You got any conclusions?
I guess water is wet after all, man.
You think water is wet?
I guess so.
And there you for. I changed a man. And hopefully I changed
Yeah.
you and you're not just like an ape just raving in the comments saying,
Wait, does that mean I'm an ape?
no, I'm talking to
now.
the audience. Hopefully,
The audience are apes.
yeah, raving in the comments about how water is not wet. Even their their pleb minds can't comprehend science.
Yeah.
All right.
A bunch of apes.
It was real fun having you, Tony.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate you.
See you later, man.
See you later.